Hello all, welcome back to another interesting story under Azadi Kamrat Mahotsav story series by Mr. Musings. Today I'm going to introduce you to another interesting and brave king who's been called as the Iron Gates of Delhi by Britishers. Interesting, isn't it? Come on friends, let us move to Jatland of India, that is none other than Haryana, to see who this person is. He is none other than Raja Nahar Singh from Balabkar area. In fact, this king has single-handedly guarded the entire Delhi region for around 120 days from Britishers during the 1857 rule. In, interesting, isn't it? You would definitely like to know more about his details, isn't it? Before we get into his details, let us see where Ballabgarh is. How did this king, Raja Nahar Singh, had achieved this tremendous feat? Ballabgarh is approximately around 20 miles down south of Delhi, and it belongs to the Haryana state, the current Haryana state. Nahar Singh was born in around 1821 to the ruling kings of Ballabgarh kingdom, to the Tavatia clan. He was born to Raja Singh and Basant Kaur, and unfortunately his dad has passed away when he's around 9 years of age itself, and then he was raised by his maternal uncle, who had made him into a totally secular and patriotic kid. In fact, he got his education both from Hindu gurus as well as the Muslim gurus. His penchant or inclination for running a secular kingdom will become evident with his different correspondences, which has with Bahadur Shah Zafar, who the last Mughal emperor who was ruling the Delhi fort, Delhi Sultanate at that point of time. In fact, as soon as he got coronated around 18 years of age as the king to Ballabgarh, he immediately wrote his first letter to Bahadur Shah Zafar, saying that since this is very close to Delhi, my fort is very close to Delhi, and a lot of Muslims do live in my area. And as soon as I became the king, I realized that there is no proper mosque, or there is no proper praying place for all my Muslim brothers, and that's the reason why I had constructed this mosque, and after construction of this mosque only, I'm writing to you that even Muslims have the equal privileges and rights in my kingdom. And that didn't stop just with Muslims, my dear friends. In fact, whoever comes to his place, Christians, Muslims, Hindus, he should treat everybody in the equal spirit. And I'm telling you this because he has given equal opportunities for every person who has approached him for help. And at the same time, the patriotic seeds were also sown in him by his maternal uncle. So, so that is the time when we're talking about 18th century, right? 1840s, and that is the time when the first, dissatisfactory winds about British rule started flowing all over the India, starting from different corners, and he was also not far away from that because he's already in the heartland of Jatland, right? So the moment he got the wind of it, even before 1857, he went to Uttar Pradesh all the way from Ballabgarh to meet leaders like Tantya Tope and others. To discuss about the different reasons and to basically strategize about their revolt against Britishers. And he used to always keep an eye about the different enemy movements, that is especially the British army, the British colonels and majors. In fact, in one of the letters, again, he's written to Bahadur Shah Zafar. He's mentioned that all my eyes are concentrated on you and your fort. There is a Delhi fort, and my mirror or my eyes doesn't accept the reflection of any foreigner. You can rule as a Delhi Sultanate, the entire India, but I cannot accept any foreigner's rule. That shows his true patriotism at that point of time. In fact, he started expanding his military army also at that point of time itself, by recruiting the soldiers from the British army. He used to pay a lot more when compared to what Britishers used to pay their army people, and he used to actually keep stack of one room full of this flour which is made used to make chapatis, the pulses, some vegetables, everything in store for all the people, refugees who are fleeing away from Britishers, so that they can he and his team in Balakkar fort can actually give food to them. He was giving shelter to all the refugees and the soldiers, and in fact, he was supporting the Marathas, the Sikhs, whoever is revolting against Britishers at that point of time. Also, on the other side, there is one more aspect of him which we forgot to talk earlier. While he growing up itself, his maternal uncle has introduced to him all the martial arts. He grew up into a fine soldier who is very good at shooting. He used to even shoot a moving soldier who is going on a horse with a perfect with 100% perfection, and he's no and the entire Haryana and the surrounding areas know about his shooting skills, and he's also a fine archer, good horseman, and apart from that, the typical martial arts were also kind of very easy for him. He has become an expert in all of that. He's a good warrior, good secular person, and a good administrator too, because he knows that the Delhi fort is the one thing which from which the Britishers should be kept away at any cost. So he should always act on behalf of Bahadur Shah Zafar, even when Bahadur Shah Zafar has not informed him to act in such a concise way. He should collect information from all the sides of Delhi, pass on information to Bahadur Zafar as to how he can safeguard his kingdom. Seeing the way he was communicating to Bahadur Shah Zafar when the 1857 revolt has started, our Bahadur Shah Zafar has made him a right arm in the mm, uh, 1857 revolt. And uh, our king Nahar Shah has gone ahead and started securing the southern and eastern gates of Delhi, and he made it so impossible for the Britishers to step into Delhi from the south and eastern sides of Delhi. That is very evident in the correspondence which Britishers sent it to the Governor General of India, as well as to the people in London, saying that if the Nahar Singh and Ballabgarh had become the impenetrable iron gates of Delhi, and we need army support from China and London to penetrate through these gates and defeat this King Nahar Singh. That itself can give you how much tough opposition he has created from the south side of Delhi for the Britishers to enter. And whoever the Britishers, whoever were coming towards from the south, were how to get defeated and killed by Nahar Singh and his army. In fact, the Delhi canals at that point of time were totally appearing red because of the blood that was flowing from the British soldiers and British army majors, it seems. At the same time, if suppose the British soldiers say that, okay, I'm coming, I'm seeking asylum from you, he was not stopping there. He was taking them into his team and training them and inculcating the patriotism fever in them so that these people can fight against the Britishers. This was, in fact, being testified by one of the soldiers who was being recruited by Nahar Shah himself and rose to the army chieftain level at a later point of time when Nahar Shah was being prosecuted by Britishers. Amazing gestures, I should say, isn't it? But then Britishers knew that they couldn't enter Delhi through south. So obviously, any family, any royal kings have fallen down only because of the traitors within the royal courts, isn't it? In a similar way, Bahadur Shah Jafar also had a family traitor within their royal courts who came in the form of the father of one of his daughter-in-laws. He told Bahadur Shah Zafar that it's time for them to recede back because of the so much of bloodshed that is being happening during this 1857 war. He already Bahadur Shah Zafar was feeling bad because so many of his soldiers are losing battle on the other sides of Delhi, but he is very confident about the south and eastern parts of the Delhi. But the traitor from Bahadur Shah Zafar's family has played his weakness cards and made Bahadur Shah Zafar step out of the Delhi castle, fort, and run away towards Humayun tomb. that time, the moment Nahar Singh got to know that Bahadur Shah Zafar has taken his asylum in the Humayun's tomb, he sent his fastest riders to meet Bahadur Shah Zafar and told them to come towards south of Delhi and take, stay safe in his own fort Ballabgarh. But unfortunately, by that time itself, even before this raider could go and meet Bahadur Shah Zafar, the family trader had given so much of information about Bahadur Shah Zafar to Britishers that Britishers came and captured Bahadur Shah Zafar in the premises of Humayun's tomb. That too after killing his two sons and ensuring, making him see the torture which his two sons had to undergo in the hands of Britishers. For Bahadur Shah Zafar had to concede and then became a prisoner with Britishers. By the time this news reached Nahar Singh, he couldn't control his anger and he started attacking Britishers left, right, and center. And he was not sparing anybody. He was advancing towards the main fort of Delhi. Then Britishers sent him a message saying, like, in case if he wants Bahadur Shah Zafar to be alive, then he needs to retreat back to his fort in Ballabgarh. On the other side, some troops of Britishers had gone ahead and attacked Ballabgarh and started ransacking his fort, started torturing his people. When Nahar Singh was basically got the two different uses, which kind of sandwiched him and gave him the different perspective of the war altogether, he had receded to Ballabgarh to ensure the security of his subjects. When he had gone there and he brought again Ballabgarh to safety, to stability, without really hurting the people, Indians who had actually did this, but only to ensuring that main culprits from the Britishers and get caught and get prosecuted. Then Major Hudson, who is the head for the British Army, who has actually participated in the 1857 revolt, came with another cunning plan. He went to Ballabgarh with five flags, saying that he's come for a truce to Nahar Singh, because in case if he wants the life of Bahadur Shah Zafar, he should come to Delhi for a discussion with his trusted members. Since Nahar Singh knows that Bahadur Shah Zafar trusts him completely, he felt that yes, he should agree to this truce so that at least Bahadur Shah Zafar life can be saved. So he, along with his trusted team of around 100 people, went to Delhi. The moment they reached the gates of the fort of Delhi, he was captured in a very cunning manner. And after he was captured and put into the Delhi Fort prison, this Major Hudson couldn't keep quiet because he's already seen the wrath and seen the dangerous side of Nahar Singh. So he went ahead to the prison and asked Nahar Singh, why don't you surrender yourself? I mean, tell that, you will work for us. So, you ask for a pardon from the British Queen, then we'll give you your life and your fort back. You forget about Bahadur Shah Zafar. You know what King Nahar Singh said? I am I'm a born Indian and I'll fight for India at any point of time. And I don't want to ask for forgiveness from a foreigner who's come to this place as a guest. So, and if at all, if one Nahar Singh dies, there will be thousand other Nahar Singhs who will be born once again on the motherland of my India. So you don't have to worry. Hearing the way this Nahar Singh has told these words infuriated Major Hudson. So Major Hudson had called for an immediate prosecution of King Nahar Singh and his allies and wanted the Britishers to prosecute him. At that point of time, the public prosecutor from the British side has actually praised the humanitarian side of King Nahar Singh and said, like, he was giving asylum to even the Britishers who had gone in search of asylum to Ballabgarh. So we should also consider his humanitarian aspect before kind of proceeding further about his prosecution. But Major Hudson ruled away all these things and said, like, he needs to be hanged. Otherwise, it will be dangerous for the British Empire in India. So, going by Major Hudson's words, King Nahar Singh was hanged on 9th January 1858 in the present Chandni Chowk fountain area. And when he was got to the dais of the hanging platform, he was again Major Hudson tried, ridiculing him, and kind of tried some again another few tactics with King Nahar Singh, saying like, at least now you know that you are going to die. So, I mean, can do you want to ask me for your forgiveness, or do you want to say sorry to Queen Elizabeth? For which our King Nahar Singh said, I'm not going to ask forgiveness or pardon from any foreigner. I only want you guys to pass on the message to my fellow Indians, saying that the spark of freedom, which I had already lighted, me and my fellow friends, will still continue with them, and they have to ensure that our motherland India will never bow down to anybody, any other foreigner in future. Hearing this, Major Hutton immediately said, hang him. There was no other, basically, he couldn't say anything beyond that, you know, and, and they have hanged him publicly. And Britishers were so afraid of Nahar Singh and his team and his army. You know what? They didn't even give his physical body to his family members. They just ensured that his body and his other three trusted aides who got hanged along with him, their bodies are totally have got disappeared. That's all story, my dear friends, today. I hope it's really arousing, and it's inspiring. For me, the moment I heard the different dialogues which Nahar Singh has uttered at different stanzas, like I was like getting tears in my eyes, and I was like thinking, I mean, there is some real jerk that's coming in me. I mean, what are we? I mean, are we taking the freedom which those people have made so much sacrifices today uh, as just for granted, without realizing their hard work and the sacrifices? Think about it and let me know your thoughts. Let us come with another interesting story tomorrow. Till then, bye bye.